You're watching the Tanya Mullings Show, and welcome to the H.E.R Network on Zingo TV, channel 251. Please remember to download both the Barn Burner and Zingo TV apps in their respective app stores on iOS and Android devices. While you download, make sure you rate and leave a comment. Both apps are free. Zingo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire and Fire TV sticks, also on Roku and Roku sticks, and on smart TVs 2016 and forward. And tonight I have award-winning singer, gospel she does, classical, reggae roots singer-songwriter, and the H.E.R Network stands for hardworking, empowering, and resilient. And this artist right here is definitely all those three and so much more. Kristine Alicia, thank you so much, my girl, for being on the show.
So Tanya, I must say that that was the most succinct description, all caps in one. Like, that was really good. Like, usually it's a long thing to say, but that was so on point. Thank you. Thank you. And it makes me feel even more honored to be here, because I don't think I've ever heard it said so, like all of the things I've tried in one sentence. Thank you.
Yes, you're so deserving of that. And I got to say, girl, I am a fan of yours.
I've heard a lot of things, and I was like, I wonder when I'll get a time to talk with Tanya Mullings. But I figured my time eventually would come, and I just figured it was one of those timing and alignment. Nothing happens before time. So here, yeah.
Yes, I'm so glad to have you on the show. If I could get you to, I don't know, that virtual background sometimes makes you go in and out, and we don't want to lose you. So I don't know if you're able to turn that off or stay close, because we don't want you disappearing on us.
Okay. Is this fine?
You got a lot going on. A lot has gone on recently in the last 2020 with yourself. And I got to say, once we get into your story, people will definitely see you have been through a lot and you are so strong. I want to talk about your single, your current single right now that has the video out,
Sure.
Eternity. Talk about that.
Eternity is the latest single that I've been blessed to release. It was written last year, but it was my release breathing song during a time when I was like, okay, what is going on? This is probably the hardest lesson of my life. It came right after Black Diamond. Black Diamond was my struggle song, but it turned into a song that, look, if I don't focus on my day-to-day blessings, I'm going to get lost in this whole trauma. And I hope that people, when they hear the song Eternity, they get that. I just really just look, all of us are going through stuff, no lie. The problem is we will always probably be overcoming challenges. Every year is something else. And we can always look to the future and just wish and wonder. And I was at a place, I was like, what's my future going to be like? How am I going to manage with my husband? Blah, 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 this or that, right? But I believe God spoke to me and said, stop worrying about this eternal grandeur future. You need to get through this. You have to focus on your everyday blessings. Eternity is here, depending on how you look on depending on your perspective. Eternity is here. So I believe that. And I believe you say I'm strong, but I don't believe I am strong on my own. I believe it's a perspective shift. It really is. And the perspective shift helped me to push through, and it's helping me to push through. I have my moments, and but when I keep my perspective on that, I'm able to say, okay, I got this. I can do the Tanya Mullings show. I can go into the studio. I can give my best, because I refuse to wallow in this situation of doom and despair, when I believe life is about ups and downs and how we deal with those challenges.
Yes. And to my viewers, make sure you follow her on Instagram at Kristine Alicia Music. And to my viewers, what she is talking about is Black Diamond is a single that she released after her passing of her husband in August of 2020. Very fresh. And like I say, I want to applaud you. And I'm sure there's a lot of artists that you influence out there that have gone through things and have not stand strong like yourself. And I'm going to say I'm one of them because I've lost my father 15 years ago, and it took me a
Oh,
long time to stand on my feet. So to
so
watch your strength, I admire it. I
so
really,
can I?
really do.
Well, I want to say, Tanya, sister to sister, it's not better. I didn't do better than you, and I want to say that. I don't want to ever seem like did it. There's no right way to grieve. There's
Yes.
no, if it takes you 15 years, it's not, and I'm still grieving. It's not like I'm doing it better than you or my stronger. The music at this point just happened to be my saving grace. Like it
Yes.
just happened to be my, some people have coping mechanisms. I believe that it was me, my husband, and music, right?
Yes.
So the music helped me to fight through, and that's all I had. So it's not that I did it better and gotten over it. Yeah.
But my producer is online. I don't know what happened there, but
Okay.
he got in.
Yes, I just want to say everyone can do it differently. Some people cautioned me and said to stop, like stop releasing, but I knew that I had to follow my intuition, and I knew that this was part of my healing, and it is part of my healing. And I don't predict anything, but like I said, I don't believe I'm doing it better than you or vice versa. I think that people just use different ways to get through their challenge. And
Yes.
thank God music is just my language at this moment. And that's why I'm grateful. So I appreciate that people are able to receive my tears and my message through Black Diamond. Some people said Black Diamond was too hard for them, But
Yes.
I released it not caring if it was going to be commercially ready or not. I released it saying, this is my release to my husband and my release for anybody else feeling this weird 2020 trauma, uncomfortableness. Yeah. It was
Yes.
about that. That's why I released it. And I think that's the beauty of being an artist. You just have to release it. It's releasing whatever is in your life. And if it wasn't for having that freedom and having support from people like you and who it's about, you can't worry about, oh, is this going to be commercially viable all the time? Being an
Yes.
artist to me is about, I'm just going to release whatever is on my heart, this experience, and then hopefully people can resonate with it.
Yes. And I don't want to sound selfish talking about my situation, but
No,
you
please
said,
don't.
yeah, you said that with your husband, it was you, your husband, and the music. With me as well, my father was my manager, so that's how I felt. And
Ah,
I had a real hard struggle continuing in the music without him by my side because it was a reminder that he wasn't there. So it's interesting to watch you. And I'm just saying I pull
yeah,
from that strength. And I've come across a lot of people, like I said, you said everybody
yeah,
deals with it different, but
yeah,
I come across a lot of people now that you see deal with it a certain way. And
yeah.
I wish I could
Mm.
go back and find that
Oh,
strength back then that you have today. That's what I'm
well,
basically
can I
trying to
say
say.
this? Have no regrets. Look at what you're doing now. You're influencing the world in such a great way. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it's just different. I wouldn't say have any regrets. I believe your father, this is what I believe.
Yes.
The person that passed is still guiding us. That's kind of how I am,
Yes.
moving forward. Your father is guiding you into this. You're probably being very influential. Well, not probably, you are. He is guiding you, and I'm sure you feel it. He is giving you what's necessary for the platform, regardless. I believe that I've had times when I felt like, how am I going to manage without my husband? Because he was a big supporter. He was always pushing me, whispering in my ear not to quit when I felt like quitting at times. So
Yes.
I've had those moments, but because I just believe that he's still whispering in my ears, it kind of keeps me going. That's it.
Yes. And again, I mean, thank you for influencing a lot of us who have gone through those struggles and your strength for that. And you also, like, Black Diamond was not just for your husband in the situation, it was also, you felt a universal soundtrack for the post-pandemic world, what we're
Yeah.
going through today as
Yes.
well.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I felt, even though I wrote it to encourage myself, it was the same time when COVID just became worldwide, like shutdown,
Yes.
and then, you go online and you've seen everyone express their frustration, and then it was also the time when every month it seemed like there was and oppression against our Black boys. There was police brutality, and that was also like a huge cry at the time. So I remember just feeling that, oh, this is so annoying. This is so like, what is this right now? So it definitely was a pressure song. For sure.
Yes. And Black Diamond also, you can go check out that video. She has that out as well as Eternity Now. There's a lot of, you want to tell them the YouTube channel to go check out all your videos and your music.
Kristine Alicia. Once you put in Kristine Alicia, that's my channel. That's it. That's simple.
Everything pop up.
Everything is there.
Yes, I want to talk about your journey in the music, how it came about. We know you're born in Kingston, Jamaica. Start from there.
Yeah, well, I was born there, but my family moved to Florida when I was a teenager. I believe I was in high school. I remember that day specifically. I grew up singing with my daddy, well, singing in the church, rather. My dad is a musician. But it wasn't really until high school, college, where I kind of started dabbling in competitions, singing competitions. And I remember there was like a disappointing competition. I won it, but the promise that they gave didn't really pan out. So I was like, definitely, I'm not going to be an artist, right? I actually went to school for music business because I felt I don't want to be an artist. Artists don't make no money. I'm just going to be an A&R. So I felt I would just work behind the scenes. And so when I was in college, happened to be doing some background singing, and I was singing here and there. And then I was singing a little Anita Baker song at a Valentine's concert, and Papa San was the main guest. He heard me. He said, okay, let me talk to her a little bit. And then eventually, long story short, I was doing background.
Say, we have an hour. You're telling it too quick. You're going to run out of time.
I was doing background singing for Papa San, which was a blessing in disguise because I learned a lot from his energy. It kind of gave me the bug for being on stage, give you a little, but it's his dedication showed me this is hard work, but his passion gave me a bug. And I was also doing background singing for Nigel Lewis. It was Nigel Lewis that took me on as a protege and said, let me produce the album. He produced my first gospel album. And then from there, I was like, okay, well, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do this.
It's funny, when I was going through your bio and everything, Papa San was my first ever collaboration in the industry.
Well, yes. So you know exactly the energy, right? You know the energy.
Yes, we go way back. That's the 80s. So
he's a legend. Okay.
Yes, he really is. Very, very, yes, so much so. And you were talking about your family. I want to go back to that because not only is your father a pastor and a musician, your sister and your 4 brothers are also into music. Like y'all got the bug.
Yeah. So my daddy taught us classical music straight.
Yes.
He would secretly tell me, I wish my daughter was doing classical music. So now and again, I try to appease him, but
there's some good money in the classical side.
I don't know, but I can't. Like reggae, to me, reggae is in my blood. It is. Yes. But I have a brother that's a classical teacher. He teaches in the schools, and I have 2 brothers that are artists, and I have one as a producer, and my sister's a dub poet.
Yes. Wow, like everybody's in there. That's pretty cool. And you work close with one of your brothers, don't you? Producing? Does he work with you?
Now I do. I mean, that happened within this year. That was one of the blessings that came out of during my husband's fight with cancer, I needed some assistance, and my brother and his wife stopped what they were doing and moved to Texas to be of support with me. And then while he was living with me, he started to dabble in his musical talents, and I'm like, okay, maybe he can produce some stuff for me. And so that developed over this past year. We never worked together before until this last year.
Okay, where are you located now?
I'm in Texas, sorry.
Texas, okay.
So there we go. I've been in Florida most of my life.
I was going to say, I thought you were in Florida.
Yes, so that's where so I'm known to be in Florida, but in last year we moved to Texas for my husband, so my husband could be close to his family.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
And like you said, you did the backgrounds for Papa San and Nigel Lewis, and went on to record with Nigel Lewis. the album. You were actually working with Nigel Lewis, got you some nominations
And yeah,
for the Marlin Awards.
yes,
Eight nominations.
yes. Surprisingly,
Hold on.
that was a
That's like
surprise.
India Irie at the Grammys, girl. Eight in one
Yeah,
night.
it was
Was that in one
surprise.
night?
It was surprising. Yeah, it was surprising. I it was definitely a surprise. But like I said, time alignment. I can't take credit for everything. Nigel Lewis brought the best musicians. I believe he had the best musicians around him in
Yeah.
Florida. It was just timing. You know, the songs flowed at the time. I was definitely on a gospel train at that time, so I wrote a
Yeah.
lot of. I had a lot in my heart at that time, and it just. I guess it flowed. It was a long time ago, so.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, that's why I say you sang background for them, and then right away you were like brought on, like put out there as a solo artist, and to
Yeah.
say right away, first album, 8 nominations. That says a lot right there. I mean, you ended up taking home Artist of the Year and Female Reggae Vocalist.
You really did your research, madame.
I do. I make sure everybody knows what's going on with Kristine Alicia. We have to
I
do
am very well. I shouldn't be surprised. This is why this is the Tanya Mullings show.
that. Well, you know what we do here for my viewers, if it's the first time, the whole concept is we bring the artists on and we want everybody to get to know you up close and personal and your story, because a lot of artists, I'll say it, go on radio interviews, and no disrespect to radio DJs because they don't have hour of time, but we get to talk about our little single, and then you go out the door, and the artists really don't get to tell their story.
Yeah.
And I think the fans out there really appreciate when they really get to get up close and personal and know your struggles and your stories, and you know what I mean, because it's not an easy road. As much as you're singing all pretty out there, and you're so good at what you do, it's not a smooth road.
It never is. You know it, Tanya. You know it. You know it
Yes.
personally as well. Like you have to be in it to love it. First of all, it has to be it really like anything in any industry, whatever you I really believe that whatever you do, you have to love it. You have to love it.
Yes.
Otherwise you're gonna be miserable.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm definitely doing the music because I can't cut it off. I can't cut it off.
Yeah, I think a lot of us in the industry would say the business part of us would run it out, but the artist side, we can't let go of that.
Yes. Hopefully one day it will balance out. Hopefully.
I know. That's the part that, it's like, I'll leave that out of there. The
Yeah.
politics and all those things there.
Oh
Leave them
my
out the door.
goodness. Let's not get started.
Right. Oh my gosh. So again, here you are on the gospel line, and you're like, you got more than gospel to offer. This is the time where I got to know Kristine Alicia and who Kristine Alicia was.
Okay.
My first email was from Rory Stone Love.
Thanks to Rory.
Big him up.
Yes,
And
thanks to Rory.
I was like, who is this? I was like, wow. I was like blown away, And he says, new artist I'm working with. I did not know any more than that introduction from your music. Then I went and searched everything else after.
Yeah.
So that was like, you went to Jamaica, you say.
Yes.
Visiting Jamaica just to do a photo shoot. And when you go there, you get the link, you'll get the link up. And I think that was definitely a link up for you.
Yeah.
And,
so David Muir at the time, who was helping me out, kind of side managing me, testing me out a little bit, took me to Rory's house, like kind of on the whim, and told me, sing for Rory. And then I sang for him, and then that's when Rory said, all right, you sound all right. Rory, you sound all right. I'll give you a try.
Yeah, I know he acts like it's a but
your voice sound all right. Right to this
inside
song.
He's going shabad.
I guess.
I know he is.
You know him, yes. So that's how it started. Started as a one-song trial, then an EP, then the EP said, all right, let's do an album. So yeah.
So this was the single Hand Over River?
Yes. Well, it was Hand Over River and Freedom Fighters.
Okay.
So we did both, and I think there was a vote as to which one should come out first, and Freedom Fighters came out first, and then the next one was Hand Over River. And I think because they both did well, I said, okay, let's try and do put put out EP. But you know, you have to test out things first. So
Yes.
yeah, you're right. You're bringing back things to my memory.
I know. A lot of people always say that. It's like, oh, I forget. And then it's like you have so much stuff going on. But you know what? Before we get into that, was there any, I know you did the gospel album with Nigel, but was there any singles before that you put out?
Yes. So after
Talk
the
about
album,
those.
I worked with various producers. There was actually a collab with Papa San, Philistine. So
Nice.
Philistine was done with a producer called Brian Isaac. So that was an independent project altogether. I did a couple of singles with LOJMG, which is a production label from the Bahamas. So I did some other gospel songs like Rescue and Perfect Time. And, you know, just those singles came out independently, which kind of just helped me to test out my waters and do things a little different, more contemporary side. But then I did a single called Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? And that
Okay.
was my first cover that was not gospel. So it was
Okay.
actually my first one to throw in. It's okay, guys, I'm not doing gospel anymore. You better be aware. Because to me, it's not like I was leaving that message or my passion or my convictions. It was like, I need to do more than life is more about that. Life
Yes.
is about love. I wanted to sing love songs. I wanted to sing songs about social justice, which is why Freedom Fighters came out. And to me, it was a box to be just called or labeled gospel, because you know that's just how it is. That's how life is. So
Yes.
that was my first kind of signal into getting, and I think that was my segue into being able to go into the roots reggae genre, which is how Rory fit in. Even though Rory still call me a gospel artist.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people consider the Songs from Zion album a gospel album. So I just say whatever you want to call it. It's a combination of inspirational songs. There's love songs on there, as you know, and
Yes.
a dance roll it song. And you know,
That's my tune. That
that's
get
your
enough pull up.
tune.
On the radio show, that one get enough pull up.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Enough pull up.
I'm sorry. So I hope it has something for everybody. I hope it
Yes.
has something for everybody, you know. So again, thanks to Rory. Rory allowed me to express myself fully. He did not control, you know, you have to sing it this way. You have to sing about pure bad man. You know, he just said, sing
No.
what's right, write what's on your heart. And I appreciate that, because that's how the album felt like it was true to me, you know.
Yeah, like you could do your thing. Did you find that switching over from I know the gospel was reggae as well, but did
Yeah.
you find like leaving the gospel to go and do the roots reggae? Did the fans follow you, or were they feeling like, okay, where are you going here?
So when the album released, I would say there was a lot of people that were shocked, but I was shocked that they were shocked, because, and even Roy was saying, I don't understand, the album is very spiritual. But yes, so I had some traditional followers who were like, this is not going to work, you know. And yes, some couldn't handle the transition, as they call it. But then a lot of
Yeah.
people, I I found out that a lot of people stayed on. So I felt that there was like a little bit of, when we released the album, it was a little bit of, you know, not so sure what is Kristine doing.
Yeah.
But I think as I went on interviews, I think people realized my heart, and they realized, oh, they were judging a little bit, and they accepted it for what it was. And they could not deny, and they told me this themselves, that
Yes.
Rory did an amazing job with the production. They could not deny that. So,
Yes. You
and then
did.
I gained a whole new following as well, you know. So a lot of people that didn't know about my music before heard about me because it was a Rory Stone Love production.
Yeah. So what was the name of the gospel album? I'm just saying for my viewers if they want to go look it up.
Yeah, the first album was called Get Ready. So if you
Get
just
ready.
type in Get Ready, it's straight up reggae gospel.
Yes. And this one produced by Rory Stonelove is Songs from Zion.
Correct. Yes,
If
ma'am.
you
You
want to
said it
check
nice
that out.
and with authority. I like
Yes.
it. I like it.
And it's fire, pure fire.
Oh, yes.
Again, follow at Kristine Alicia Music. Go check out all her videos. And of course, Zion is one of the videos.
Yes.
Hand Over River, again, one of my favorites. Go check that video out. Roll It.
Yeah, has a
Love
video.
that one.
Key
get
Lock
that one.
Key Lock was my love song on the album as well. That has a music video too. Yeah.
Okay. And it also topped, that album did amazing for you. I remember actually that post when it came out, it just flew up the Billboard top 15 album chart.
Yeah, it did.
That
It
was
did.
big. I charted iTunes top 10.
Yeah.
That is big. And especially, like I said, you're over there getting, what is it? 8 nominations for gospel. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You're right. You're
Okay.
right. You're right.
And then you come over and do this reggae album and go right on top. I mean, that says a lot. And like I say, that's a big deal for us as female artists. It's
Yes.
not always, we don't always get the props we should get. And you definitely got that and deserve that. It's nice to see that. And you got recognition from Reggaeville as well.
Yeah.
That Zana Reggae.
Yes, yes, yes. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
not so sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reggae vibes. And of course, it was covered by all social media, newspapers everywhere, especially the Jamaica Observer covered that album. Again, songs from Zion, Go Get It. Again, follow her again on a social media at Kristine Alicia.
Yeah.
Music. I mean, I could go on and talk forever about this album because I think it was a big one for you. Echo Magazine.
Yeah. Yes, that was big. Yeah, that was. I mean, I would say I remember that time when I felt, oh, blessings upon blessings upon blessings. It's like when you put your work out there, you see you weren't. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect, but I feel like when you're in the zone and you just follow the flow, and you keep yourself grateful,
Yes.
and humble. You have to stay that because you know music is so subjective. This music is so
Yeah.
subjective, so you learn to appreciate, oh wow, it's nice, but you can't hang on to, you have to also learn that you can't hang on to the, oh wow, you just have to release it and hope for the best. And like you said, if it fall in your ears and it speaks to you, then that's a blessing. And I
Yes.
think at the time it came out, I was surprised because there was so many opinions about what needs to be done, but we stuck to it and we released it. And yeah, so yeah,
Yes.
thanks to everybody. I have to say thanks to Rory first of all and David for believing in the project. Thanks for, because it's not hard. Like you said, it was a risk to take on a gospel artist and put her on roots rhythms,
Yes. Yes.
and then thanks to all, when I was seeing all the media saying their things, it was still so respectful. Oh, she's coming from the gospel, but they didn't use that to judge the product, and they could have.
Yes.
And I felt grateful for that. I did.
Yeah. Is there any more works with Rory, or is he on a high from this album and him just gone?
I
And
think
God take
Rory
the
is busy. I
glory.
think, Rory has so many artists that, begging to work with him now. So
Yeah.
I'm always appreciative. The songs from Zion is still has a ways to me to, like, there's
Oh,
some people that still don't know about it. You know what I mean?
yes. Well, that's why it's true. The world is so big, and some people it's new to them, and they don't realize that
Exactly.
it's not old, but it's been out. So the world
Yeah.
is huge to cover, and people, like I said
Yeah.
in the beginning, I wasn't aware of the gospel, and then I was introduced to
Yeah.
this album with Rory, and then I started to go back, and that's how it normally is. People are like, okay, where, and they start to dig up what you've done, and it's all new
Right.
to them.
And you just pick what you like. Yeah. So Rory is now working with a fabulous artist from England, actually, Alicia, I believe, Alicia Scott and
Okay.
Yezi Music. So he's busy. And when Rory is busy, you kind of like, he puts
Yeah.
so much, cool. He puts so much into his work that I just let me leave it. And I've also been blessed to meet a lot of other producers.
Yes.
So I understand what it is to take what comes in your path and your lane at the time. And
Yeah.
so Rory, definitely, if our paths are able to do, I would love to do something with him. But there are also other producers that I, I'm sure we can collab and do things together.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a good feeling for him to see that that project went to the level it did, and he feels good as a producer. And you're like, you had your gospel thing doing your thing, but you stayed on top. And again, thanks to your craft and his, that it came out as good as it did. So
Thanks.
I know it's a
Yeah.
blessing. And again, when I said Echo Magazine, it was Artist of the Month. You were featured in
Yeah.
there. And Songs of Zion was also listed of the top 20 albums in
I forgot about that.
2017.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, I say these things because I saw them on your Instagram, and I was like, yes,
Yeah,
go
you're right.
girl. It's a great thing. And actually, I can't leave out something. My girl Tasha T here in Canada, you did a remix with my girl Tasha T as
Yes,
well.
yes.
Love
Thanks.
Liberation.
Yeah, thanks to the producer, because I had met Tasha T only once. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't even have thought of that collab. So that was just done by the producers making a move and say, I'm going to do a remix with Tasha T and not tell Kristine till it's done.
Yes.
So that's how that happened. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
cool.
that's my girl. And I mean,
Yes.
she's a beautiful soul, big
She
heart. That's
is.
my sister.
Yes, nice, nice.
Yes, yes. She was on the show weeks ago too as well, talking about herself, social media hype, I go,
Yes, yep.
don't we know about that?
She's very strong on that. I love it. I love her message. I love how she delivers her message and she'll stand in it, stand on her
Yes,
truth,
yes,
and also being open to work with me was nice. So yeah, that was
yes.
nice.
Have you done any other collaborations? Because I wasn't aware of those. Like you said, Papa San, anybody else that you've collaborated with?
Tasha T, I did a song with Nigel way back on the first album. I haven't done any, but I'm working on one right now, and hopefully it goes well. And I hope you like it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, can give us a little prips of who it is. There's a surprise.
Uh,
Can do it.
yeah,
It's
because
okay. No pressure.
yeah, because you like to when something finish. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's better to say
yeah.
when it finish, and then because then management can come after you and say, "What you know?"
Yes.
So,
Oh, I got to send a shout out to Jen too and your
oh
whole
yes,
team.
Jennifer
I got to
Cheshire.
definitely shout her out. She was making sure all the connections were made and
Yes,
everything
she's
like that.
amazing. Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
God bless you, Jen. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
And I mean, you performed a lot of places. You've been, of course, USA, uh, Canada, my side,
Yes, yes, yes.
Africa. What was that like?
Wow, it was, first of all, the trip was long, but
I
I
know
was
it.
there for a week. They treated us so well. I don't even know how come I got to Kenya because it was a surprise. It was like we got the email and like wow, but they had been following me for a while. And when I went there, but when I went there, it felt like home, Tanya. It felt like
Yeah.
home. It's a confirmation of what you hear. Like when you go over there, like we are really one. We are really one. I go over there and I felt like, I mean, all of the men just walk with them Jamaican walk. I mean, seriously, the females, we have our love and our connection. You know how like how we just connect.
Yeah.
The hustle was the same. So it was really good, and it was a gospel concert, but I was able to sing Freedom Fighters and Hand Over River over there because it was just the time when I had just released a lot of gospel singles, but working with Rory, and so I was testing to see how they received it, and they received it well. So it was good. It was good. It was my biggest concert ever, so I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous, but they received me well, like like nice people. And
Yes.
it opened up my eyes to a lot of other things that um reggae is adored everywhere. Reggae is
Sure is.
adored everywhere. I mean, our African brothers and sisters, they love it. Of course, we know this. So they will, they will treat you well when you go over there. So, yeah, it was nice.
Yes. And that was the Groove Party. That's
Yes,
the
yes,
show it was
yes,
in Kenya,
yes.
Africa. And when she says she was nervous with all the people, it was 30,000 people that she sang to.
Yeah, it was
And
good.
30,000 is a good number.
Yeah. It was, yeah, but it was good. It was good. It was like God saying, just you guys have to do what you are called to do and not be worried about numbers. You can't be worried. You sing great for one. If you can sing great for one person, you can sing great for 30,000. Because at the end of the day is what's coming out of your heart. So I had to keep that in my mind and just deliver it and just do what you have to do,
Yes.
So yeah.
So how do you feel? Are you get nervous when you go on stage? Are you comfortable? Is that your zone or?
So I feel like sometimes I am nervous and then sometimes I'm just in the flow. But
Yes.
I do know that it's all about me and how I prepare. So
Yes.
if I feel like I never feel nervous about how I'm going to sing or that, but if I don't feel calm and in my spirit, I definitely know that that's what that's my responsibility. Because
Yes.
and you probably know this as well as a performing artist. If you're not in a place of comfort and the zone, it doesn't matter how great you sing, it will
Yes.
not come off good if you're not, if you're not feeling a connection. And so
Yes.
I learned to make sure, look, the most important thing is to connect with your audience. Make them
Yes.
know that this song is a song they can sing too. This is my journey, but your journey as well.
Hmm.
This is not a Kristine Alicia on the stage singing down to people. It should never be about that. To
Yes.
me, my reggae platform, my reggae call is always about I want to sing the song that people can sing with me. I want to sing a song that people's heart can sing along with me. And I want to be able to sing a song that if you feel like you can sing or not, you sing and you belt it out no matter if you can sing a good tune and you just want to sing it because why? Our spirits are one, right?
Yes.
That's why are we going through this together. And I hope I become, every time I release a song, the more I grow in that, the more I realize how powerful it is. And that's why I feel like my later songs now, it's going to be focused on making sure I'm resonating with the heart of the people.
Yes. And I'm resonating with the heart of the people. How does that feeling feel when you watch the audience sing your track back to you?
It feels, it's humbling. It's like, oh, it's good. But again, it reminds me of how, man, the human spirit is one.
Yes.
It makes me fall in love with God more. I think that's what it is. That's the best way to say it. Like I feel at that moment, oh, God looking down at all of his children and just saying, oh, that's what I want. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
no like, if someone can sing a song that God give you,
Yes.
the feeling is wow, like our spirits are connected.
Yes.
Our spirits
And
are connected.
I just want to bring up, like, you're a solo artist now, but you talked about being background vocalist back in the day for Papa San and Nigel. Uh, how does it feel coming forward and being the front person? Not that you can't handle it, but I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's a different feeling, because the reason why I say this
Yeah.
is because I constantly say on my radio show, there is so many background vocalists out there that are better than some of the lead vocalists. And
Very
I
true.
wonder why they don't leave the background and come forward like yourself has
Yeah.
done. And it blows me away, because I always talk about that, because they
Like
just
a
get kind of stuck in the background and get comfortable there.
Yeah. That's a good conversation. I've actually had that same conversation with some of my supporting background singers because I'm
Yes.
very close to them. I tell them, yo, your voice is great. Why aren't you? And some
Yes.
of them will say, I'm trying. And it takes a certain fight to really do it. But also some of them say, I'm quite comfortable being background. Some of them don't want the shine.
Yes.
There is a certain amount of pressure to to carry the audience with you. As a
Yes.
background singer, you're kind of like letting the lead singer be the captain. So I remember when I was doing background singing, I was just being awe of how Papa sang, and I'm sure you've seen it. It's like
Yes.
just hold the audience in them finger. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yes.
there is a certain, I would say a certain skill, a certain energy, and a certain, the gospel people say anointing, you know,
Yes.
that you have to have. And that comes with some people can't get it right away. I would say I had to learn it. And not learn it like you learn it in school, but I had to grow to understand. You have to be confident in yourself. If
Yes.
you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in your gift, and you're gonna always second guess, and you're gonna always wonder. And it just depends on what you feel you are called to do. Some background singers don't feel like they want to take the front stage. Some people have that, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Some people don't want the limelight.
Yes.
Some people feel great supporting the lead singer. And I'm blessed to have had some of those. Like I have some really amazing singers, right?
Yeah.
Who you would say, yes, that would be they sing if you want to compare. I don't do the comparing thing, but if you
Yes.
want to compare, they definitely sing better. They can do more runs than Kristine Alicia. But them don't business. They don't want you to get on the front mic. They were like, no, Kristine, they don't want it. So
Yes.
I think it just depends. Everybody's personality is different. Um, I had to grow to love my voice over time, but Sade is my favorite artist.
I
And
yeah, I love her. I love her. A lot of people always tell me to cover her tracks, and I'm like, if I can't touch it and do it well, then nah, touch it,
well,
because she's
I,
like,
I I bring her up because she's an example of you don't have to have like the fabulous
yeah,
Beyonce
yeah, it's
running voice. It's
yeah,
just a an aura. It's just a presence. It's just a confidence, and that's the thing. I think Sade embodies that. She's like,
yes,
I'm just going to sing this song.
yes,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna.
She's not, and she never really been about the limelight. She just makes music, you know. It's like,
Yes, yes, you're
even
right.
I mean, she's huge, but I don't find her like, out there. Like she's made her hits, and she's
She
like
doesn't need
a
to.
legend, you know.
Yeah, she doesn't need to. And she came out before all the social media hype too.
Yes. I think she was just recently releasing a double album, if I'm
I
correct, of
heard.
her
Yeah,
hit.
no, you're right. Yes,
Yeah,
I heard.
yeah,
Yes, so we're both fans.
yes. Oh, big time. I love her.
Yeah.
Did you find that like you've made your name now? Like people know Kristine Alicia, and you're
I thank you.
extremely talented in the industry.
I
Yes.
feel like I still have some ways to go, but thank you. Like I feel like every time I have an interview, I'm like, okay, some more, but 20 more people would know who I am. 20 more
Yeah.
people. So I feel like I have a ways to go, but thank you. I mean,
Yeah, but I'm just saying, to me, you don't
yeah.
have anything to prove. You are amazing. I think you're one of, ooh, you up there, girl. In my books, and I'm sure many of the artists in our industry and fans respect your craft. You are an amazing vocalist. And I just wanted to know, like, how does it feel? Do you feel it like a lot of the artists that you're meeting along the way, they're veterans in the music industry. And did you feel a pressure performing alongside some of the bigger acts, or you felt like you were comfortable with them, like Third World, of course?
To be honest with you, I was opening for them. So when you're opening for an artist, you feel like you're being blessed, like them just
Yes,
trinkling on you.
yes,
It never felt like, oh, I got to compete because it
yes,
wasn't. It was always, oh, Kristen List is opening for them. So to me, it was
yes.
always me being like, okay, I'm being
The
introduced to
respect.
right, or I'm being introduced to a new level. It was always about, okay, I'm furthering my audience.
Yes.
You can't compare yourself with third world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't
Well,
compare yourself
not
with
a
like
comparison, but
no,
a
no,
lot
no.
of
What
people
I
will
said,
say,
right. When I said, I mean, like they will always be like,
yes,
yeah,
yes. But a lot of people, like I talk to a lot of artists, and they're like, like, oh, it was an honor, or they felt like being amongst those artists inspired them to be, because a lot of them have been here for a lot of years, like Third World.
yes, yes,
Freddie McGregor, you've opened
yes,
for,
yes.
and of course, my sister and Nadine Sutherland.
Etana.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a big night. So that I would say maybe that night I was nervous. I think so. Opening for Etana because female. Yeah, so that's a good example. But
yes,
thankfully, it was Tanta Irie putting on the show. He's a big radio host in Florida. And again, the people once you family love is something. Like when you sing in front of your family. So
yes,
that concert, the community made me feel good. We are sisters in this industry. That's
yes,
what it made me feel like. Yes, Etana is a veteran. She in this thing long. She, her audience is wide. But I had to. I was there, and they made you feel like this is your sister. And then once you
yes,
go in that mindset, this is your sister. Then I definitely, the nerves left. The nerves
yes,
left, and so you have to see it that way. That we're all in this. Like Tanya is my sister. Etana is my sister. Because what we're singing about, what we're singing about. You know what I
yes,
mean? Yeah.
yes. It's the same thing for me, because I've been here years, and we've always been like, I can tell you back in the day, it was like 2 female on a poster and the rest were men. So for me personally, when I watch the females climbing and up there the same way, it's like you're cheering us on because it's regardless, it's not as bad as it was before, but we
Yeah.
really didn't get the support as much as the male in the industry. So,
Yeah. So
you
I mean,
know,
hats
so
off to you. Hats off to you. Yeah.
thank you.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's been the
we've come
struggle
a
is
long
real.
way, I think. Can we say we've come a long way?
Oh, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. But that's why I'm saying when I see the flyers with a lot of female on it and they're getting sword, it's a good feeling, you
Yes.
know, because
Yes.
we are here and we ain't going nowhere, that's for sure.
Yes. That's good.
Also, I can't leave out, you've performed, of course, with Warrior King and, of course, Taurus Riley as well.
Yes. Meeting them was so nice. Warrior King was especially special because he was so like humble and encouraging. I remember that night I was like, Warrior King. And then seeing his performance,
Yeah,
but he was another one that was very intentional about speaking to me and making me feel confident and saying, making you feel like you're worth what you're singing about. So all of those instances and examples is probably what helped. Like every time you think you are lesser than these wonderful reggae veterans, take the time to encourage you, and then you realize, oh, okay,
yeah,
they're not so high and mighty, right? We're all in
yeah,
this together. It's just like the only thing that separates us is time and distance. They've
yes,
been in it
exactly.
they've been in it longer, and they just happen to have more experience, but it doesn't make one better than one. What makes it different is experience. Janine, for example,
Oh,
wonderful, amazing.
yeah,
Again, produced by Rory, amazing. She would say the same thing, time and experience. She's been through the
yes,
same struggles like us, being a female artist, but she's worldwide and but what's the difference is her experiences are longer and probably more. I'm sure I could learn a lot from her as well. So
yes. Is there anybody that you would like to work with producer wise that you see out there if you had the opportunity to work with? I mean,
hmm,
you had Rory, so that's good, but I
yeah.
mean, is there,
No, there's
that's
so
not
that's
a bad
all.
one.
There's so many great producers I've come across with, and I listen to rhythms when they send me to. I hear a lot. I mean, I feel like I want to take more risks with my style,
Yes,
but I never want to leave my roots
your
and
roots.
my reggae. So it's kind of like I need someone that's very creative. I'm preying out a few of them. I like what Walsh Fire has done with coffee, but
Yes,
um, every artist is different. I don't want to judge the producer based on the artist they produce. So I
yes.
will tread lightly and say I'm not so sure.
You're not so sure. I put
Just
it out there because you never know who's watching it. And somebody might,
yeah,
sometimes they sit there and say, well, I would love to work with her. Next thing you know, you get link up tomorrow
yeah,
and whoop, you know what I mean? Is
yeah.
there anybody artist wise that you would, if you had the opportunity to work
Oh,
with, you would like to?
I mean, I might sound old school when I say this, but I don't care. Luciano. If I could do a song with Luciano,
Yeah.
definitely. In terms of more recent artists, Chronics. In terms um, yeah, or more time. I don't know if female reggae or doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter,
Doesn't
anybody.
matter. Oh, ooh, Jill Scott.
What? That's a
Yes,
nice one.
that would be nice. I admire her completely. Alicia Keys is another one. But yeah, there's so many that have a strong message. It would boil down to their message more than their style. So that's a good question, because I was like, do I say reggae or R&B? I
Yeah.
don't know. But for me, like if the message coincides with what I'm trying to say, let's
Yes.
do it. Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
do it.
Do you have, what would you say, any advice for upcoming artists in the industry?
I would say if you do it to reap quick benefits, you're going to be disappointed quickly if you want quick turnaround. But I would fully encourage them to go into it knowing that you're going to push through, right? Have a good support system. Believe in yourself first, know exactly what you want for yourself so that you can take the opinions with a grain of salt, right?
Mhm.
Be open to criticism, but know that you
A
have to
a lot of them can't take the criticism.
be open to criticism, but also know that it's also, but it's a balance. Be open to
Yes,
criticism, but know yourself. Otherwise, it's gonna be all over the place. And then the bottom line, you have to do it. Your passion has to be strong. Otherwise, your fire gonna wilt out quickly. So make sure you're
yeah.
doing it for the right reasons. That's it.
Eh, yes. And what do you think about the quality of the music that's coming out today in our genre?
Feel like I'm hearing some really good stuff. I
Yes,
do. I feel, but again, but I also hear some stuff that I'm like, wait, I don't know, you know.
yeah, yeah,
But I try not to be the judge of it because there's so many circumstances that come out when something is produced. I hope that I do hear some stuff like sometimes we artists we just put out stuff quickly to get something out. So sometimes it's a
yeah,
rush job. You can tell when some things are rush jobs.
yes,
But I do feel like some artists are sticking true. Reggae is, I mean, everyone can tell reggae is definitely taking a turn in evolving. You know, you hear the styles changing. Roots is definitely taking another meaning. There's a lot of influence from, you know, modern American sounds, but you know, reggae at the end of the day has always been about the message. So at the end of the day, if our message is strong and it resonates with the people and it changes hearts and it stands up for justice and one love and unity, then we will stay on the right track if we stay there, right?
yes.
Yeah, if we stay there.
Yes, and that's our time. I just want to thank you so much, Kristine Alicia, for being on the show
That was quick.
Eternity.
That
I
was quick.
know. Eternity is the brand new single. Go get it. And Black Diamond was her last single. Please follow her on all social media, Kristine Alicia Music. Go check out all the videos, everything. Any quick shout outs before I do the outro?
Wow, to everybody that has supported, to every manager, every producer that has given me a chance, all the listeners on this show, we will take up the time if I to say thank you. But thank you, Tanya. Big up to Tanya and
You're welcome.
everybody right now. Yes.
Thank you again. This show can
Mhm.
also be heard on the Barn Burner Network on its 122 platforms. The H.E.R Network is part of the Barn Burner Network, Inc. Please check out thebarnburner.ca for all the news and programming. Watch it, hear it, read it, download it, live it. It's the Tanya Mullings Show. Catch you same time, same place next week. Have a blessed evening all. Take care. Bye.